Most websites today have a category containing a collection of images on a particular topic, and it's inevitable that the image sizes will vary. For example, here I have a list of images with different sizes. This inconsistency makes the layout difficult to arrange. So let's see how I'll arrange it. In CSS first, I'll specify that all images within ThreeJs class have a width of 100%. With ThreeJs class, I'll use the columns property to divide the images into 5 columns. This way, the images in the list will be automatically divided evenly across the 5 columns, with a spacing of 5 pixels between each column. This is called Masonry design. Its goal is to divide the images into columns and fill the gaps between them. This CSS property is actually quite familiar to web developers, but they may not know that it serves this purpose, as it was originally designed to divide a paragraph into columns. In my box element, I have 5 images. By default, I'm using the brightness filter to darken the images. When an image is hovered over, the brightness is removed and the image is enlarged to make it stand out. The principle of styling a hovered element in CSS is something almost everyone knows. However, real-world websites often don't do it this way. By default, applying brightness to images makes the website dark. Instead, brightness is only applied to the other 4 images when the user hovers over a specific image. When an image is hovered over, its box element is also hovered over, pointing to the non-hovered images. And then brightness is added to them. This is the correct way to do it. The focus effect only needs to be created when the user hovers over it. With any given image, I prepare a second image with a black background and a transparent background. I can then crop the first image into any shape I want. First, I just need to import the first image into the HTML. Next, in CSS, I use the mask property. The first value is the path to the image mask with the transparent background. I center the mask within the frame, then specify that it cannot be repeated. So, we have cropped the first image using the mask. Based on this method, you can quickly and beautifully crop any image you want. With any image, I will use the box reflect property with a value of below to create an inverted image directly below the original image. 0 is the distance between the 2 images. I will use linear gradient to blur the second image. So I've quickly simulated the shadow effect of a model in CSS. Websites with long content often have a timeline to show users how far they've read. And here too, I've created a fixed reading element at the top of the browser window using that position fixed property. Now I'll run an animation with the same name, using a scroll timeline. This animation works as follows. By default, the element's width is 0. As the user scrolls a page, the width gradually increases until it reaches 100%, which is the end of the page. This creates a very simple timeline effect that helps users know how much of the content they've read. In web design, maintaining the correct aspect ratio for an element is a very common occurrence. For example, here I have a box element with a width of 200 pixels and a height of 300 pixels. The aspect ratio requested by the designer is 2/3. This inadvertently creates a problem for the programmer. During responsive design, the width may change to fit different screen sizes, forcing them to manually recalculate the height. Instead, they will use the aspect ratio property in CSS, with the value being the desired aspect ratio. Now, all they need to do is declare the width. The height will be automatically calculated based on the value of the aspect ratio. This method applies to all size units. In CSS, to round the corners of an element, we use the border radius property. Or if you want to round a specific corner, I would use border corner position radius. You can also try using the corner shape property. With the value scoop, a convex curve will become a concave curve. With the value bevel, it will create a horizontal cut. With the value notch, it will become a perpendicular line. This allows you to create countless different shapes with just one line of CSS properties. You're probably all familiar with websites that change their appearance based on the device's theme. Developers often choose the website's color scheme based on the device's theme to enhance the user experience. Achieving this feature is actually very easy. Just check the prefers color scheme value in your CSS. If prefers color scheme is set to light, change the website's colors to a light theme. Conversely, if prefers color scheme is set to dark, change the website's colors to a dark theme. From now on, when you access the website, its colors will match the device's theme. In HTML, I have two box tags with identical content, distinguished only by their parent class names, box1 and box2. To make them easier to distinguish, I'll give them two border colors, red and green. For example, normally if I want to color the class content, I just declare it like this. If I only want it to affect box2, I add the prefix class box2 before it. Similarly, if you customize the color for Thea greater than tag, it will affect alla greater than tags in the web page. Add the prefixes box2 and content to customize only Thea greater than tag within this. If you don't want to repeat the prefix like this, there's another very good way to write it. For example, if you want to customize the content class of box2, write the content class directly inside box2. The system will then understand that you want to customize the content class within box2. Similarly, I only want to customize Thea greater than tag inside the content tag of box2. It's much clearer. If you find the mouse cursor effect on your website too boring, you can completely customize it to your liking using the cursor property in CSS. The value of throw function will be the URL. Inside this function will be the path to the image you want to display when the mouse cursor moves. It could be a sword, a cat, or anything you want. The maximum image size should be 48 pixels, and it should be square.